All right. So thank you everyone for joining us. I think most people are in now. My name is Erin and I am the Student Recruitment Officer at the UBC Vancouver campus. And I'd like to start by acknowledging the land that UBC has built its Vancouver campus on, which we work, learn, connect, and innovate, is the unceded ancestral and traditional territory of the Musqueam people. Now, I do have a couple of guests here with me today, and I'm going to start off by introducing one of my colleagues, Marie.
Awesome. Thank you, Erin. So I am Marie Reed, and I am an engineering advisor from the UBC Okanagan campus. My pronouns are she, her. I would like to acknowledge that the UBC Okanagan campus is situated in the territory of the Syilx Okanagan Nation and their peoples. I would also like to acknowledge that you are joining us today from many places near and far and acknowledge the traditional owners and caretakers of those lands. So even if you know other people who work as engineers, you might not know all of the possibilities available for someone who completes an engineering degree. So at UBC, our engineering degree is called a Bachelor of Applied Science. But in Canada, there is no standard for naming degrees in engineering. So you might find schools that where it's called a Bachelor of Science in Engineering or a Bachelor's of Engineering. But what is really important when you're looking up all of these schools is making sure that the program is accredited. So what this means is that the program meets the academic requirements. So after you graduate, a student can then work towards their licensure as a professional engineer in Canada. So you won't have to worry about this at UBC, as all of our programs that students graduate from will be accredited. So UBC Engineering offers students two campuses to choose from. So one is the Okanagan campus in Kelowna, and the other one is the Vancouver campus. So there are really two main differences between the campuses. One of them is the size. So the Okanagan is a smaller, tight-knit campus, and the Vancouver campus is a larger city feel. And also the second difference is the programs that are offered. So UBC degrees are recognized internationally, no matter which campus you decide to go to. You might still need to complete certain requirements to meet professional licensing in other countries, but you can have the confidence that your degree will be recognized wherever it takes you. So the UBC Okanagan campus offers 4 different engineering specializations. So those are civil, electrical, manufacturing, and mechanical. At the Okanagan campus, there are no caps on these programs, so students are guaranteed their specialization of choice. We also offer 3 options, which are biomedical, mechatronics, and resilient infrastructure management, and 2 minors, a minor in management and a minor in computer science. Students can select their specializations and apply for minors and options at the end of their first year, and you will receive so much more information about this throughout your first year of study. So now I'm going to pass it over to Erin, who's going to speak about the UBC Vancouver campus.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Marie. So at the Vancouver campus, we have 14 different programs to choose from. There are several options depending on which program you may choose, and there are also a variety of minors that students can choose from as well. Regardless of which campus you do choose, all students will go through what we call a foundational first year. And that allows you to learn about the different programs that we offer, learn more about engineering itself, as well as gain the foundation for your engineering program. Now, at either campus, you'll start your specialized program in second year. At the Vancouver campus, that is competitive. And as Marie mentioned, at the Okanagan campus, there are no caps on those programs. So that's kind of how the basics of the degree will work. And we're not going to go into too much of those pieces of the degree because we do have other videos that are online already talking more about that. But what we're going to focus on today is how you get to design, create, and innovate as an engineer. So not only as in your career, but also during your degree. And one of the great things at UBC is that we know that designing is one of the core fundamentals of engineering. And even though a lot of your first year courses involve the basics of physics, math, and chemistry, you also get to design right from the start. You'll start your first year learning about the engineering design cycle, and you'll be applying it in your courses basically right away. At the Vancouver campus, there are two main first-year engineering courses that students take that you get to learn about the design process and work on actual design projects with a team of other students. At the Vancouver campus, you'll start in AppSci 100, and the first project of the year is typically the cardboard chair. Now, this may seem like a simple task, but it's actually a 4-week group-based project that'll have you innovating new ways to hold a 250-pound boulder and a person. You'll be able to present your ideas at the end of the design term to your professors and your friends. You can see here a picture on the screen of a kind of model student sitting on the chair, and they're taking some measurements of if the chair fits them properly. And then one of the other challenges is that you have to stack a whole bunch of weights on top of the chair to see if it'll hold weight. In term 2 at the Vancouver campus, you move into AppSci 101, and that first project of that term is usually creating an automated claw that needs to pick up a variety of objects. So these are just 2 examples. There are many more design projects that you do in both of these 2 classes, but these are kind of the 2 at the start of both of the terms that are very exciting to kind of learn more about. Now, at the Okanagan campus, students will begin in AppSci 171, which focuses on engineering drawing and CAD design project, before going into AppSci 169, where you'll learn more about sustainable engineering design. Now, the second person that I have to introduce you today is a current student from the Okanagan campus. And Prachi is going to talk more about their AppSci 171 design project in more detail, but I'll get her to first introduce herself to you so that you can learn more about who Prachi is and a little bit about that AppSci 171 project.
Thank you so much, Erin. Hi, everyone. My name is Prachi. I am a third-year electrical engineering student in Okanagan campus. My focus and specialization is just electrical engineering. So pretty much this first design course that we took in UBC Engineering is basically working with a software, which is called SolidWorks, which allows you to design a big machine and see how it looks in a 3D design model. So this was an aircraft that we designed for our project, and how it worked was each member in a team of 5 was assigned a part to work on. It's completely your choice as to what craft you want to make. It just needs to be a design that has moving parts. So we decided to go for a plane. So this just shows different types of parts that we all put together, and a lot of the work that pretty much goes into it is just design, getting used to the software, just starting off with pretty much creating a basic 3D cylinder to moving on to these different type of parts and making each part separately and then assembling them together, and then assembling the big parts that you've made. So the wings, the main body, how the chairs work, how the inside looks, and putting them all together and assembling them. So it's a great project, and it's a very interesting project to work with SolidWorks. But one of the things that I personally loved about this project and this course was the amount of time that I spent working with people, and just that spirit of team was amazing. So I learned so many skills. When it comes to communication, you need to decide in your team who's making which part and when you're going to submit them together, when you're going to assemble them. So a lot of communication goes in, a lot of research. How do you even make a 3D airplane? So a lot of research goes in. There's so many skills that I got to use during this project, and so many skills that I developed more, so many different people that I met. And it was just a really nice experience for this project. So that's pretty much what we worked on.
Before Prachi goes in more to some of the projects she's currently working on, I'm going to talk a little bit about our design teams. And design teams are one of the ways that our students are able to gain extra design experience and hands-on engineering skill sets, to learn more about engineering, to work on your design skills, to create things, to innovate things. And at the Vancouver campus, we have over 30 design teams that you can kind of see a sampling of them here. You can see that there's lots of different types of teams that you could join. And they're open to students in all engineering programs. At the Okanagan campus, there are also many opportunities to expand your network. And Prachi is going to talk a little bit more about the team that they are part of that is at the Okanagan campus. So I'll go to that slide, Prachi, and then I think you can keep talking about your project.
Okay, perfect. So in university, all the courses that you're going to take, you're going to gain so many skills, whether it's software, coding, design, things like that. Now, what's more important throughout your degree is knowing how to utilize those skills that you learn in your classroom outside of your classroom. So one of the ways, and I would say one of the best ways that you can do it, is with getting involved with clubs. So clubs are basically different types of teams under engineering, like Erin just talked about. And one of the teams that I'm a part of is the Ideas Club. So it goes for Innovate, Design, Sustain, and I'm the current president of the club. So Ideas is the first sustainability club that we have on UBCO, which focuses on design, engineering, innovation, and trying to create sustainable solutions to problems that we see on campus or around our community in general. So that's the vision that we're going for, designing and implementing solutions for problems in UBCO, and at the same time helping students apply the skills that they have learned in class into real life. Now, for this club, what we are focusing on is basically two projects. It's your personal choice, and I know a lot of clubs have a lot of projects that you can personally focus on. So the two projects that my club are focusing on is the Solar Bench project, and the other one is the Campus Waste Initiative project, which is trying to improve the waste management on campus. And as for the Solar Bench project, I can get more into detail now. So we started this project because we realized that a lot of students enjoy sitting outside in the sun and studying, and just to increase study space outside. So what the concept is, we're creating solar powered benches where students can sit and study outdoors and still charge their phones and laptops using those solar panels. With this project, we decided to work with three teams. So there's mechanical, electrical, software. Mechanical team works with the 3D design and the material of the bench. Now, this is where a lot of the students actually apply the skills that they learn in 171. The project that we did in the course where we designed the aircraft. So that SolidWorks skills directly apply to the mechanical team. The electrical team works for the electrical component and making a prototype. So a bit more complicated stuff that I would say you learn in around third year of your electrical engineering. And the third is the software team. So they collect the data, they analyze the data, they see how much to injure using the bench, how does it look like on the weekdays versus weekends, things like that. So these solar benches designs are actually some designs that we made on our own using the SolidWorks software that we learned about in our first year of university in the 171 project. So you can actually see the direct implementation of something that you've learned inside your classroom and actually using it outside and making a design for it and working in a team and getting it implemented on your campus. So potentially, maybe in the next year or so, we're actually going to see solar benches on campus. And it's such a great thing to do because you start off with learning something super basic in your classroom, and now you're here seeing an actual bench that you designed on campus. It's a really good process, and a lot of parts of it is very intimidating to start off with because you're starting off with basically not knowing anything about the subject. But with the help of professors, with the help of TAs that we have, and with the help of just team leads that we have, and just people that you work with, people with such different backgrounds. Maybe someone already has completed another degree and is working with you on this project, and you can learn a lot from them. So there's plenty of help available, is something that I've learned. And it's really about what interests you and what do you want to explore. And there's always help available for that. And there's always opportunities where you get to apply the skills that you learn in your classroom outside the classroom and get better at them. So that's a project that we're working on for that we're super excited to see happen in real life.
Great. So thank you so much for sharing, Prachi. It's nice to see the projects that our engineering students are working on and how they're actually impacting our campus and potentially other communities as well. So as you can see from Prachi's presentation, engineers are very creative. So because engineering is such a broad field and you have so many options to choose from, you get to really utilize your creativity. So another example of this is Tiffany, who in her 3rd year, she created a rain art installation in conjunction with UBC Seed's sustainability program that was visible only when the concrete was wet. So engineers are constantly improving our surroundings, whether it's making them safer through earthquake research, designing medical equipment, or beautifying our spaces. Another student, Nikolai, wanted to innovate a previously developed point prosthetic. And so he created a new 3D printed prosthetic point shoe for an amputee ballet dancer. So in addition to all the opportunities available to you as a student, engineering really sets you up for success in your career. So engineering provides a solid education in problem solving, analysis, and application of knowledge. So no matter what you want to do in the future, you have a great foundation to continue engineering or whatever else you're interested in. Lifelong learning is one of the graduate attributes all engineering students gain. So engineers are continuing to improve the world around us, and to do so, they need to keep contributing to our knowledge and applying that knowledge to solve new problems. So with a solid foundation, engineering can also open doors to things like graduate studies, law, medicine, and much more. Our students, alumni, and professors are continuing to showcase the impact they can make on the world through their research and actions, like providing solutions to clean water to Indigenous populations in Canada that have been under boil water advisories for an entire generation, reducing food insecurity, making an impact on pollution and air quality, preventing and treating concussions, creating new medical devices, and much more. On top of this, engineering is also a very well-paying job. And a new study by Statistics Canada published in 2020 shows that most top earning graduates come from engineering backgrounds when comparing bachelor degrees in Canada. So when adjusted for age, institution, and graduation year, the median earnings for engineering degree in the top 30 were between 70 to 120,000 for both men and women. So UBC Engineering is also working to reach gender parity in engineering. And the only way we can do this is through our continued recruitment and outreach efforts to expose more girls and young women to the field of engineering. Increasing underrepresented populations in engineering makes our teams more diverse, and a more diverse team means our students are better able to solve problems for the entire population and not just a fraction of it. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Erin, who's going to talk to you about where engineering can take you.
Perfect, thank you. So we've talked a little bit about the student experience, and now we're going to talk a little bit more about what happens after you graduate from engineering. So a lot of the presentations that we have are all about getting into UBC Engineering, and if you want to know more about admissions, you can check out our past presentations for all of those details. But I want to talk more about what happens after you graduate from engineering. And really, that's one of the most exciting parts because you get to choose where your path is going to lead you. So as Marie mentioned, engineering provides really a solid education, and that includes problem solving, analysis, and application of knowledge. So no matter what you want to do in the future, you have a great foundation to continue in engineering or whatever else you want. Of course, the majority of our students will go on to work in their engineering fields, but they might also go on to law school or medical school, work in business, work in the government, or even go into space. So we have a few highlights from some of our grads with amazing careers that are using their degree to do more than just engineering work, and I'm going to highlight some of those now. So the first highlight I want to share is Bowen Ma. So Bowen graduated from civil engineering in 2008 and has worked on major construction projects, including at the Vancouver International Airport. She has gone on to be a politician, and she is currently serving as an MLA for North Vancouver Lonsdale. So if anyone's from North Vancouver Lonsdale, you know that your MLA is an engineering grad from UBC. And she also recently was named as the Minister of State for infrastructure in British Columbia. So she is using her engineering background and knowledge to go on and make a difference in our community right now, both in North Vancouver as well as in the entire province. The next grad I want to mention is Hao Min, who graduated from computer engineering in 2009. And in 2017, he was named one of Business Vancouver's top 40 under 40. He is the CEO and co-founder of Bold, a real estate company and construction company that builds homes with innovative technology. One of his best takeaways from studying engineering that he said was being creative when solving problems, because more often than not, one approach does not work. So you always have to have a creative contingency plan in place. So again, using that engineering background to pursue other types of careers. So his is focused in kind of real estate and not the typical engineering career that you would expect, but he's still using that engineering knowledge and what he's learned in engineering to support him in his future. Maitri Daka graduated from mechanical engineering in 2015, and she actually started out doing an internship at Tesla as part of the co-op program. After finishing that, coming back to finish her degree, she went back to work at Tesla and has been there for several years now, and is now a senior engineer at Tesla, and has worked on autopilot hardware and the sensors team. So doing lots of really cool work at Tesla. And one more example for you is Jessica, who graduated from mechanical engineering in 2017. After graduation, Jessica decided to continue to further her education by completing a Master's of Applied Science at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, or maybe better known as MIT. Currently, Jessica is completing her PhD at MIT, where she is developing a conversational agent to lower the barrier to entry to programming. Jessica hopes that her research inspires others to use technology to solve problems they care about. Being able to program has given Jessica a great advantage in technology-filled world, and she hopes to empower others in the same way. So again, using the background of her engineering degree to really open doors for other people and to make a difference in our world so that more people have access to programming. So those are just some really quick examples to share with you. We also have some great videos on our Engineering Stories channel on YouTube. So there's a video that was created last year called What Can You Do with an Engineering Degree, that kind of goes into some of the examples that we gave and even goes into a little bit more in depth. So you're definitely welcome to check that out if you go to youtube.com/engineeringstories. There's also lots of great videos about life as an engineering student. And one of the other great series that we created last year is called Behind the Career. So this was a way to share stories about inspiring women and recent alumni working in all of the fields available to study at UBC Engineering. So you can go in, these are just a few options right here, but you can see students in different programs. So at the top is someone working as a construction engineer to rebuild the FC Barcelona stadium. And she actually did integrated engineering. So it's a little bit of a different field that you might not know about. We have one of the students in the bottom right-hand corner, Yuking, who is currently doing research. She did engineering physics, and now she is doing more research to the human interface system, so more robotics interacting with people essentially. So lots of great options for you to look at and learn a little bit more about all of the different engineering degrees that we offer. Now you can also follow Engineering Stories on Instagram and TikTok. So I do encourage you to do that if you want to learn more about life as an engineering student and more about UBC Engineering. So no matter what field of engineering you might be considering to pursue in the future, engineers work to make our world better. If you like working on a team, solving problems, and improving our world by saving lives, improving health, or increasing sustainability, then engineering might be a great career for you. So that's it for our presentation today. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's been a pleasure to have all of you, and I do want to take another second to thank Marie for joining me from the Okanagan campus and Prachi for joining from Okanagan as well to share more about your student experience and your team IDS. So thank you both so much for joining.